it was Descartes who said, "I think I am ready, therefore I am ready."
I don't hear the song yet, Matt.
Hello,
Sorry.
Starfall's my old
Here
friend.
comes the song. Wait. I didn't click the right button.
Go your own way, stones and shadows bite, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide. In the forest, there is no place to hide. Strange paths. Tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of the light.
This is The Dying of the Light, a series from the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories in a fictional world we've been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective, as well as the stories we're telling, at thestarfallcollective.com. In the previous episode, this quartet of adventurers, Diamondback, Belvari, Inkatink, and Toll, led the Black City and its inhabitants to a victory against a sizable force of Iron Bell that had come upon them. In this particular case, the Iron Bell, they were expected. They had come with 30 or 40 members of the Iron Bell force, accompanied by, or rather controlling, a couple hundred zombies and animals. So this is not new to our intrepid adventurers. They have seen the Iron Bell in Saracon, not Saracon, I'm sorry, in Cinderon, controlling beasts before, and they have seen that the Iron Bell here take and control the undead, similarly to how the people of Cinderon, the Iron Bell of Cinderon, control beasts. So they came. They were the townfolk were ready. They had a significant victory. The Iron Bell were not expecting any kind of meaningful trouble because with a force this size, surely. They have never had any kind of resistance like this. However, perched atop a tall wall, as soon as the Bell showed their ugly mugs, the townfolk let loose with a wall of flame in the form of, firebolts. And the townfolk were 100 and something strong and just shot out and did massive amounts of damage. Several waves of this ended up completely decimating the oncoming hordes, and the city was saved in very short time. It was not a prolonged battle. It took a few rounds. So, it was a minute or so that they The Iron Bell charged up the hill, beast and zombie and bell alike. In particular, making sure I'm not on a cat. In particular, Toll set up excellent defenses at the gate in case they were to go, covering it with a thorn wall. Diamondback and Inkatink led the people in defending the center part on the wall, and Belvari had a pack of wolves he summoned, and he himself turning into a great ape.
A cave bear.
A cave bear. He turned into a cave bear, and the set of them bolted into the end, containing the bell so they wouldn't route to the different part of the city, and then also attacking some of the most senior Iron Bell people that happened to be in that spot.
Yeah, they almost killed the cave bear me.
They did serious. They were focused.
Yeah.
Once they saw what was happening. So yeah, there were about a dozen casualties on the side of the people of the town. However, the clan of the snake jumped in, and just as we heard the lamentations of the women of the Black City, rushed in the members of the Snake Clan, slithering their way into the hearts of the people by reviving their fallen friends. So the net loss to the city was 0 people, and there are now strewn about the hill. It is late midday, so late morning, so it's maybe 11-ish ballpark. There are strewn about the southeastern quadrant of the hill surrounding the town, and in the trench that has been dug, many scorched, deeply decimated beasts of various kinds, stags and horses and mules and bears and things like that, and many zombies that are humanoid or other, and also a handful of Iron Bell. It's a couple dozen, a few dozen Iron Bell. It's just about midday. What do you want to do? Oh, and I'm sorry, and Diamondback sent a message using a message spell to Yoshka once again, which said, "Victory! When and where should we expect you and your demigod? Say hi to Neno for me." We're back with a new episode. I'm Sir Robert, a father and entrepreneur, and I'm the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in the drama. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and a brief description of the character you're playing. And if you'd like to say something about your character's current spirit and disposition. Sorry, I'm away from my refrigerator. And then I'll unplug it in a second. Current spirit and disposition. That's great. What you think is going to happen next, how you feel about what just happened, and so forth. Why don't we this time start with Matt?
Hey, I am Matt Talamini, a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. Diamondback is going to pretend that he knew they were going to win all along, that everything was always going to go according to plan, and that it's was all his doing. And he has a very specific plan for how to present this and how the next couple of hours should go.
Okay.
Didn't also something happen that was possibly counter to his double one roll that was convincing?
The fact that they went out and immediately rescued everybody.
Immediately rescued.
Yeah, I get it. Advantage on my next roll to persuade these people of things.
Belvari didn't see that.
How about you, Pat?
Hello, I'm Pat. I'm playing the character Toll, and he feels like that went about as well as you could hope for. He is distinctly aware of the fact that he needs to get some components for stronger healing spells before we fight the Iron Bell at the capital. So I would say that's foremost in his mind. Did any of his trees lose their lives or get scared off or anything during this?
No, they actually weren't very involved at all. They've
Oh,
been
right.
Yep,
They're sort
Yeah.
of in reserve.
they were in reserve and closer to the entrance of the city. But the battle was fast, and the Iron Bell went straight up the hill to try to climb in.
Surprised.
He's also concerned with getting, I guess all of them to come with us to the capital because they're probably not going to want to be here when the Iron Bell shows up again, and they're the only sentient things present.
Right. I hadn't considered that, but that makes sense. They might go with you. I don't know. Belvari, how about you?
Hey, I play Belvari, and he is a young druid. I can't remember how old I am. 16?
16.
Yeah, right away.
16-year-old druid, but he's an old soul. He was thinking all along that there was more coming. He still sort of thinks that could happen. Very surprised at how easy that was. Oh, he is also thinking, is there a heal cantrip? No, cure wounds is first level. Is there something that's like heal 3 points of damage?
Mm-mm.
There's Spare the Dying. Isn't that a cantrip?
So it's not healing.
It'll stabilize, it'll automatically end someone's saving throws and prevent them from dying, but
Yeah,
it's not
that's what my
healing.
that's what my acolytes have. That's what they did.
A cantrip of healing would be
Gotcha.
you just.
Oh, right, yeah. So before we had 150 guys. 150 guys and 15 like level 1.
Yeah, captains.
Did anybody do we have a few more now after that? Did any of them level up?
No, it's still.
Gotcha. Well,
They
I think
had
we
one for 1 minute battle.
I think we should probably give all the captains at least
A raise.
healing word or one of the first level components for that.
Yeah.
And possibly a few volunteers like, hey, it might be worth trying this. It
Mhm.
might hurt you, but it might be powerful to have
Yeah, right.
people who can heal people.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can't give them raises because if we did that, then we would have to pay anybody anything. And we're currently experiencing the benefit of a civilian volunteer militia. We don't want to deal with payroll, HR.
Yeah. Speaking of people speaking, how about you, Josh?
Hi, I'm Josh. I am playing Inkatink, the Kinku, who has many voices but not one. Inkatink currently in high spirits because he has defended the place that he hopes everyone will come back to and call home. So I think this has only cemented his attachment to the Black City. He is in good spirits also because he's really positive that they killed everybody and nobody got away. Whether that's true or not has nothing to do with how certain he feels about it and the certitude and settled spirit that he has on the matter. So yeah, he's happy.
Great. Just as a note, totally not related to anything in the game, but if you see me wincing, I have a very small pulled muscle in my side, and every time I twist a little bit, it just is hurty. So don't think that I'm wincing about anything you're saying or doing. I'm just occasionally turn funny.
I'll wince when you say
That's right.
things that need wincing at.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
So great. Why don't we just jump into it? It is just before noon, and you have just finished vanquishing this foe. What now? The people in the wall are uncertain. It's not that they're not glad for the victory. You've just finished fighting and spent 5 minutes getting people revived, and they're just looking to you for what next. What's going to happen? What do we do? Are we done? Did we win? And they're looking to you four to determine their response.
Diamondback is going to gather his acolytes and his skeletons, and presumably Inkatink as well. And he's going to go to Belvari and Tall, and he's going to say, "We will gather up the slain Iron Bell. Don't worry about them. And if you could find out what's the name of the village of people who live in this area?"
There are four. There are.
I just want to know, who among the villagers would know how to best and most safely dispose of zombie and animal corpses like this.
Oh, the people of Saracon.
Yeah. So I say
Morka would be the person.
I say to Tull and Belvari, gather the people of Saracon, have them instruct the others in how best to dispose of all these animal and zombie corpses safely, so that they do not arise and come back with some sort of vengeance or become a danger to us over the next several days. But I will see to the fallen Iron Bell. And me and my acolytes and skeletons begin going out on the battlefield, taking Iron Bell corpses, bringing them back to my tower.
Inkatink is trying to gather up Iron Bells as they brought, and is trying to kind of consolidate them so that we can decide what to do with them later.
Y'all have to stop Belvari because he has been removing their heads.
Oh, I need the heads.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me!
Many Iron Bell heads have been removed.
Can we roll for it?
You're out there in cave bear form, removing heads.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
From
do
the
it.
end of battle until.
I feel like they would have seen you and been like, "Hey, don't do that."
Yeah.
Yeah, but y'all are around other portions of the wall.
He is far from you guys at the battle, and the Snake Clan are focusing on the wall. So we will do a roll and just see.
It's fine.
Okay.
I just want as many as I can get. I would like to have the heads still, but if
Sure.
he's taken off the heads of some, I think there were plenty to go around.
I was planning on building a small pyramid of the heads, so the heads are available.
Well, okay, so it seems like we need to go back and decide where everybody is, and then because Inkatink is flying around.
Where everybody is.
It's fine. There were dozens of them. I don't need all of them.
Sounds good.
Fair enough.
Matt, roll me a d20 for how many nicely intact you get. Remember that there were a couple of dozen, so you get a d20's worth, as many as 20. As few as one, we'll see what happens.
Ugh. Only 7. That's fine.
7 that are fully intact. There are others that are burned badly, heads missing, whatever. Skeleton quality.
How many heads do I place in a pyramid at the front gate?
Roll me a d20. Here.
8. That's not very good pyramid.
Maybe
Start
maybe
looking
they're on
around.
like some kind of wheel.
Yeah, there we go. Or
And
this
how many-
scary cave bear starts looking around at villagers, thinking.
And how many bells, iron bells, did they bring?
Oh, actually, how many did they bring? That was actually a known quantity. 3. I rolled a 2. They brought
Okay.
3. You can
Okay. Great.
And some villagers should be set to, getting all of their supplies that we can find.
And
sorry,
someone
what?
should go and sorry, go.
Some villagers set to that. Okay.
Yeah, and we already have a bunch of supplies gathered in the inmost sort of fortress. So just add whatever supplies they have, all their backpacks, any carts they had in their train, horses, anything like that. Just bring it on in.
Sure.
Yeah, we want all their stuff. We're taking it.
Okay.
Inkatink sends up the minor illusion symbol for victory to let everyone know who's watching from inside the city that the battle is over and we've won.
And Diamondback and his acolytes and his skeletons are going to... It's probably going to take us a little while to gather all the stuff up, but then they're going to disappear into the tower for like a couple of hours.
Okay.
But the
Actually, I
townspeople
suppose-
have instructions.
Say it again.
The
Yeah, the
townspeople
people
have...
have. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. You retreat into the tower with some bodies. It's been an hour or two after the battle. You collected the bodies and carted them up to the place. There are lots of people under the instruction of the people of Sarikon, especially Morka, who are burning piles of zombie and doing large bonfires of getting rid of things. Animals and zombie alike. Some of the animals being harvested for food because they're just like a random deer or something like that. Others of them aren't meaningfully intact to be able to do that, and they have left the gathering of bodies to the Snake Clan, the Ironbow bodies to the Snake Clan and the Cave Bear. So great. It's been a couple of hours. It's early afternoon. What are you doing?
So Diamond Bell and Inkatink are going to emerge from the tower.
He now has a diamond bell.
So this is what it's going to look like. Diamondback and Inkatink in the center. In front of Diamondback and Inkatink, my 5 skeletons arrayed in a chevron in front of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Yep.
Behind us, my 9 acolytes in 3 groups of 3. And we are processing. We are progressing in a procession slowly and in an orderly fashion. Armed and looking martial and triumphant down the streets from the tower.
So you go from the tower to the fountain and then to the entrance, maybe?
Yeah, to whatever courtyard is closest to like the fortifications. The most likely like meeting place.
That makes sense. Actually, if you went all the way to the left, say to the east or west of the town, you could march the entire lower semicircle where all the people would be on that sort of boulevard inside the city wall.
Yeah, and he's blowing. No, Inkatink has too much dignity. Diamondback wants to remain silent, but he wants Inkatink to like blow the horn. not the retreat signal, but just like some other signal. Like what the retreat signal was like 3 blasts or something, and he's blowing like one long blast or whatever, just to get attention.
Yeah, a fanfare.
Yeah.
I think Inkatink brings one of the iron bells, and he has wrapped
Think about
some.
what that sounds like.
Say what?
Think about what that sounds like.
The iron bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. He has one, and he has wrapped leather and maybe some leaves, something to really mute it. And so he has one of these iron bells, and he kind of shakes it so that it makes a very pathetic, muted bang, 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 and he crows like a rooster. And when they get to the end of the procession and everybody's standing around, he uses another of his spell slots and rises a little bit, and in a loud, clear voice to all the crowd recites, "For the end of the world was long ago, and all we dwell today, as children of some second birth, like a strange people left on earth after a judgment day. For the end of the world was long ago, when the ends of the world waxed free, when satyrs sunk in a waste of slaves, and the dwarves drowned in the sea, when elven stars fell out of the sky, and whoso hearkened right could only hear the plunging of the bell into the night." And I'm sure hopefully everybody cheers. Can I make a performance check or something to see if they find it rousing?
Sure, make a performance check, and also I'm going to give a small footnote because you had language of some stuff that you don't know is not in your cosmology. So I'm going to just say exact wording of that is not canon. Later generations put some of that together.
Sure.
Go for it. Performance check away.
All right. Let's see here. That's 20 plus 3 is 23.
All right. People, who casts not his eye to a bell when he hears it toll? They see it. They are impressed. They appreciate the pageantry of the entire affair, and are especially impressed with your recitation, Inkatink.
Or something similar to what I just said.
As we process down this sort of main street from the fountain towards the mud keep, do we gather Tull and Belvari? Do they come with?
Up to them.
I'm sure they hear the fanfare and they notice the bustle and hustle and bustle.
So y'all, I missed the part. Did y'all stop me at some point from removing heads? Is that what happened?
No, I just got 8 of them before you could get to them.
Gotcha. So y'all never talked to me? I don't know what I would do next.
I guess I issued instructions to Tull. I said, get the people to do this, and presumably Tull did that.
Yeah.
And what did they do? Sorry, I might have not been paying attention.
They started disposing of bodies, making some pyres.
I remember that.
And so forth.
Gotcha.
It's been a few hours since then.
Yeah.
The work has been largely done now.
I think I would remain in my cave bear form and just spend an hour kind of heading back in the direction from whence the iron bell came and seeing what I see. Are there any tracks of people that I notice
Roll me an investigation check.
running away? I think investigation is just +1. Is that intelligence or is that wisdom?
That's it.
Yeah. It might be +0. Let me make sure. No, +1. I have a little bit of intelligence. 3.
Yeah, you're very sure. There's no
I have a
mind.
strong headache. Okay. Cool. Nature's also int. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, so I would come back, I guess, to the town and head towards the stone keep.
The mud keep.
Yeah.
Right.
And just hang
The
out
mouse
there.
stone sealed up. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. When Diamondback and Inkatink bring their great procession of the undead, do you fall in with them and march triumphantly through the town, roaring like a cave bear or whatever?
Oh no! After I think it only lasts for 1 hour.
Okay. So in Belvari form,
2 hours, even 2 hours it would be. Yeah, I'm back to Belvari form.
do you join the victorious procession?
Yeah. I mean, I won't jump up on the parade float, but I'll
Okay.
watch.
All right. How about you, Toll?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Join in.
So what's your?
3 hours. That might be a new level 6 thing, though.
That's good. That's
That
long.
sounds longer. But yeah, I wouldn't be level 6 yet because I hadn't had a long rest. So
Right,
I think it's just 2 hours.
Once y'all get a long rest, by the way, you leveled. So good. Diamondback, do you have more about that, or should I continue with the narrative?
I do have more about it.
Go.
I stop once we get into the mud keep. And we stand there in our orderly ranks for like 30 seconds or something, and then Diamondback pulls Belvari in towards him. Diamondback like reaches into the crowd and yanks Belvari into the center with him. Come on.
So I'm up on the float now.
There's
You're
no
inside the
float.
keep now.
Oh, inside the keep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was. Did we parade around for a little while and then come back to the keep? Is that what happened?
Yeah, something like
No,
that.
I paraded from my tower down through the city to the keep.
Okay, so I don't join any parade. I just get pulled further into the room I already was in.
Yeah. But you know, there's a space around my skeletons and acolytes. You know, where
You brought
and
them into the keep? Gross.
I pull you I pull you into this space, and all the townspeople are looking at us, wondering what's going to happen next.
I don't think
And-
everybody can see in there, right?
There's lots of people crowded around. No, the mud keep is just, it's like a big wall around a few city blocks. There's no ceiling in the area where we are.
Yeah. So you came into the stone keep and pulled me out into the mud keep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we're kind of in that street running down
Yeah.
the middle of the mud keep.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. It's like a wide open area. There's all the people around. They're all like, "Ooh, what's going to happen next?" And Diamondback says to Belvari, "Do you in like a low whisper, do you know the plan?"
To me?
Yes, to you.
Sorry. For some reason, I'm not following very well here.
It's probably all the screwdrivers.
Yeah. All the screwing heads off. Yeah, we're going to go. I'm saying this quietly. We're going to go take out the Iron Bell.
Yeah. We need to convince them to come with, or they will be killed here.
Didn't we already do this?
I fear that they mistrust me. Would you speak to them?
I look at him sincerely and say, is a lich going to kill all of us because of your focus?
I look at him sincerely and say, no.
Roll me an insight check,
Insight check.
and Diamondback a charisma.
Can I get one of these?
Persuasion.
I should have used one of these on the.
Oh, persuasion's +0. Here goes. Straight up and down.
Do I get any bonus for that?
No.
I'm guessing it went well.
13.
I cannot even.
Oh wait, no, that's a 9. So 14.
It's a 2.
So what is
Dose.
the answer? So now you have to tell me the truth, Matt.
And you rolled a 13?
14.
14. So he says no, and you perceive him to be, as other times, quite sweaty and pallid in his answer. However,
Uh-huh.
you read him to be basically honest and telling you the truth, though not maybe not giving you a full and complete picture.
Gotcha. So I feel like at one point I got to the point where I thought Diamondback believed what he was saying, but that what he was saying was wrong.
That sounds right.
And so it wasn't him trying to like that double one wasn't him trying to deceive us. It was him trying
It
to.
wasn't deception, it was persuade.
Yeah.
I think your take on it wasn't deception, it was persuasion, but you totally don't believe him then.
Yeah.
But here, you genuinely think he's really being sincere and honest. You're not like, definitely he is, like if you had 20 or something.
Yeah.
With the 14, your impression, I as the DM, knowing his level of sincerity and stuff, I as the DM am saying you kind of believe him that he means it.
Gotcha.
A 10 would be, 50-50. A 20 would be, yeah, man, I really see he's totally sincere. I'm completely persuaded of that. As opposed to, or if he were deceptive, I would say, yeah, it seems totally deceptive. But with this roll of 14, you're like, honestly, I kind of believe him that he believes it.
Gotcha. But do I have any sort of read on what is actually going on?
Not from that. What your insight was giving you a read of him.
Yeah.
And his charisma, persuasion was like his effort to like show you that he was being sincere.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I feel like especially because I think we are going to a place where there are, I feel like the Copper Dragon might be able to handle a lich. I don't know exactly. I don't know like the D&D official line, but like
They're roughly the same.
Yeah. Belvari's like, especially if we're around, maybe the Copper Dragon could tank for us and would maybe help us stay alive or something.
Or some of them.
Yeah. The ones that he likes, unlike Diamondback. No. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with all of that. I still think Diamondback is walking around with an atomic bomb that he doesn't really know everything about, and banging on it with the hammer every once in a while.
Yeah.
But so what Diamondback is asking you to do is to like get up in front of the people and
Maybe?
like, yeah, because you're not a member of the Snake Clan. You're not
Right.
under Diamondback's sway the way people can see that these like skeletons and acolytes and maybe Inkatink are like, we are all in the like spiritually like affected by some dark force, and it's really obvious that we are. And so
But
so
Toll
Diamondback
is
wants
adult.
what?
Toll is an adult.
Yeah, he's like 30.
I was going to say, Toll is also a druid and maybe a little more obviously. Isn't Toll a druid?
Yeah, but so is Bavari.
Yeah, but Belvari's a kid and he's an animal half the time.
Yeah, I mean, so Diamondback's thinking is like what he really wants. Who he really wants for this is Yoshka.
Yeah. Fortunately, Yoshka is sending us riddles wrapped in enigmas.
Yeah, and
with dry cleaning instructions attached.
And Belvari is like the second most trustworthy friend. And then, Tall is maybe a latecomer. And so he's not first pick. But if you want Tall to do the speaking, you can certainly, tap out and get Tall to do it. Diamondback would be okay with that.
Hey, Patrick, what is your charisma bonus?
Yeah, Toll is like decidedly uncharismatic. His charisma is -2.
Ah, okay. Perhaps my +2 would be.
So Toll jumps up and says, "I'll do it."
Listen here, maggots.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. So I get up and I'd like to sort of have a check to figure out what I'm going to say, because I want to say something terrible if it's a bad check, right? Or
sure.
Instead of just saying something and then, oh, that didn't work.
Do a persuasion check.
I'm hoping that because of the Diamondback's trying to toe a fine political line, which is to say he wants Belvari to have the benefit of the political capital that Diamondback and his acolytes have accrued by rescuing a bunch of people during this battle. But he does not want them to be perceived. He does not want Belvari to be perceived as being tainted by the same the thing that Diamondback and company are tainted by. So all that is to say, if Diamondback is able to pull this maneuver off, then hopefully Belvari will be able to get the advantage that the Snake Clan earned for this persuasion roll.
So as a way,
sell it, it's like this Diamondback character is a little sketchy, but
hang on real quick before you make your soliloquy or monologue or whatever, as a way of kind of indicating how the Snake Clan gives Belvari advantage. Inkatink, you see like some young person who was moved by his poem has whispered something into Inkatink's ear, and Inkatink steps forward and says, "Those who fled the land of beasts found friends in this flayed hand, and slayed the bands out of the east. Black City made its stand. Now fireflies have filled the sky, and whoso hearkens round will only hear the silence, for the bells will be cast down." And then he kind of points to Belvari, and he steps aside for Belvari to step forward.
Okay.
Roll me your choice. Persuasion check if you want to earnestly plead a case to them. Performance check if you have an idea what you would have them do and you're trying to get them to do it. Like, not just persuade them, but you're trying to like, this is a great idea, guys, salesy kind of pitch.
Yeah.
So you pick on which one of those you want.
So those are both the same from the number.
Okay.
I think Belvari would tend to prefer to be like, here's the way it is.
Yeah. Straight shooter.
Yeah, straight shooter. If you're not on board, we'll get you out of here safe-ish. We're not going to abandon you in the Black City and you're just going to die. Ha ha ha. But
so persuasion check, a good one, like a very good roll, means it's a straight shooting, whatever. A bad one is you're saying the things, but it doesn't. They aren't super persuasive.
Yeah, I'm hitting emphasis right when they're not needing that.
Right. Telling
okay.
you too many facts and not enough.
So do I get advantage from Josh's poem, Inkatink's
I'll give you a D6 bonus.
D6 bonus? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also doing guidance.
Go for it.
So +2. Start off with a 2. Natural 1. Throw all those bonuses away.
Wait, but you have advantage, right?
No, I got a D6 bonus.
Well, you have advantage from Matt.
You have advantage from the Snake Clan behind you.
You can do that, yeah. Because that's the one Matt had gotten for helping everybody. So you can roll that again, and if it's not a 1, great.
3. So
what's your total?
3 is 6, 7, 8, 9. So slightly below average.
So you got a 9. Your audacious plan.
I think can I try to
do it.
try to
Articulate
speechify it
something.
and you.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, I feel like all I need to do
Huh. They rolled a 9
is like
to defend
their
against your persuasion.
I'd call that a meeting of the nines.
I sort of feel like just me talking is about a 9, like slightly below average. So
Go for it.
I'll just say, okay, everyone. Y'all have heard our plan. We're going to fight the Iron Bell, and y'all saw how this went. The Iron Bell is going to be a more difficult battle, but there's going to be more help when we get there. So, if you're with us, we need you. If you're not, we will help you transport away if that is your desire. I would recommend not staying here. There will probably be more Iron Bell coming.
Okay. I'm going to do some rolls here because I'm curious. I'm going to let the dice, which don't lice, tell us what outcome there is. I'm going to roll for Miradau, Endev, Agara, Timu, Patagat, Sidola, Senaran, and Ribbelin, as well as Sarakhan. And there's also of the, what do you call those people? The Yoshkaites? The Wayfarers.
Wayfarers.
Minnows.
So just bear with me. I'm going to do some rolls here. I'm going to see what happens. I got a little scheme cooked up to see what's what. We're going to start with Miradau. You rolled a 9. The general mood was also a 9, so it's just 50-50. All right, so Miradau, Garriott is already inclined towards you. That one rolled on the paper. Give me a sec. There it is. Woo! I did that with advantage, a 2 and a 10. How do I interpret that? I'm going to say he's for you because, I don't know. They're not trying to resist. It's just a 10. A 10 was the DC, basically. All right. So now it is going to be Endev. And I'm giving him a little bit of a plus because he sees Garriott stand up and say, I think it's a solid plan, right? So I rolled just to tell you what I did. I rolled a D4, and that increases the chance for them. It's a bonus that the next person is getting. The next person is disinclined. These are the people of Endev. Okay. This is just for fun for me. All right. He gets up and he says, I don't know. I don't think it's a great idea. The Iron Bell are tough, and we don't know how many they'll send next time, this kind of thing.
Can I respond to that?
No, this is their portion. The guy from Agara, he rolls an 18, so he's like really on board. Guys, I think this is, we will never have this chance again. We really need to strike out and help. We've all seen this now, and he adds an extra bonus to what's going on there. All right. The next guy goes. This is the leader of Timu. He gets up, and because Miradao and Agara rolled a 1 and a 3, well, they rolled a 3 and a 3, but I'm averaging out the bonuses. He has a very high roll as well. He's got a 17. He stands up and says, I think it's a great idea. Now the group sentiment is a +7. Patagat, a 12, +7, 19. Now the group sentiment is a +9. A 6, but with +9. Group sentiment has climbed to 11. If I were to roll a 1 now, that person with a very bad roll of a 1, since the group sentiment is at +11, nobody can fail from now on. Only the people of Endev end up saying, I don't know, I don't think this seems like a good idea. So at the end of their votes, everybody except the people of Endev have decided we're going to go. And I'm going to check one more time for Endev. I'm going to roll the same thing, but
They're the only ones.
with disadvantage to see if they collapse under the pressure. Disadvantage to see, how persuaded they are. Whoops, that's. And no, they changed their mind. They roll a 10, which is what the need was. They're in.
All right, now I have a question for you.
Go for it.
What did Yoshiko say anything back after my message?
You have had no response yet. However, that is not unusual given how your communications with him have been.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we get. Have we heard except through Morris? I mean, it might be worth sending somebody through the teleporter, A, to see if Morris talks to him, and B, to see what's going on over there. It's not as important since everybody's coming with us, but I was thinking like a little scouting party wouldn't be amiss.
It's a good idea.
Like you show up and it's like, oh, everything's on fire and the world is upside down for some reason. Everyone's hanging from trees that are stuck to the roof.
Where are you expecting this portal to go?
Well, I mean, we can go to different places. I was thinking, where Garriott left. Like, has what's his name, the Beast Master, been just destroying that whole pie slice?
You know that Spolash went through and was doing his deal. You also could go, if you're just trying to get through the thing, you also could open a portal to you could either go to the Stone Keep, Miradao, or...
Oh, yes. Although the Stone Keep might not be very... In addition to the darkness, there's a bunch of people who hate us for stealing from them.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't remember the damage y'all did. You saw 2 figures, one of whom followed you in and then was fireballed. There were 2 giant spiders. Did y'all kill the giant spiders?
And I think we ran from the last group. We killed a few things, though. But yeah, we left behind one
guy.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
One followed us, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe I did kill the spider. I can't remember.
Sounds right. I can roll something.
I vote we don't go there.
Those are the 2 other gate locations that I recall.
Yeah, and I mean, it's less important since we're not sending people away from the Black City.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be worth doing it just to see if Morris shows up. Maybe he'll have my unicorn friend. Does anybody want to do that?
Go back to Garrett's town?
Yeah. Also, doesn't Garrett have some stuff there?
He does have some stuff to retrieve.
We need to go there then.
If you're
that's
going
already...
to...
That's already something that Garriott talked to Diamondback about, and they
Right.
agreed would happen.
So,
should we not
so
die.
Robert, you told me, I think last time, what I think the time frame would be. When do I expect the next Iron Bell army to be setting out? When do I expect them to get here? How long
I
do we
think we
have
were
to
going to
clear
roll
out?
for that.
Sorry?
I think we were going to roll for that.
Oh, okay. But
Like
I've
we did before, history check.
right, but we do already have a rhythm established. How long has it been already?
6 days between attacks, about.
Right.
And you've now, whether this counts as one of the days, who knows? When you got here last time, they had just finished beating the Iron Bell. And 6 days later is going to be exactly, who can tell?
And that group of Iron Bell arrived 6 days after the previous encounter.
Maybe not exactly. It was a smaller group. It may have just been nearby or something. You were only in the hole and including the time in the stone keep, the stone place. You were only in there for like 3 to 4 days. So you killed a small group of Iron Bell.
Right.
Yoshi, Neno, and Talad got washed down that river, down that sewer. Right. And then you spent a night getting to the hole, 3 or 4 days in the hole, and then you teleported back. So it was about 5 days between.
Okay.
And then
So
6 days between.
Diamondback, before they even start planning, after I see that everybody has decided to go with us, Diamondback is going to say to the assembled, "We set out in 3 days. So make ready. Get everything ready to travel. Build carts if necessary. We're going. 3 days."
And what's your intent with the women and children?
They're to come with.
To the battle.
I can't think of any place safe to put them.
It's okay with me. I was just wondering what you're doing.
I mean, so we're gonna go to Garrett's place. There's not the Basket City's gone.
It's a shambles.
Yeah.
Garriott had earthquaked it really hard, knocking everything into ruins. And then he overgrew it with wild growth, so that it would look like long abandoned.
Yeah, so like Diamondback has literally.
That could be a safe place.
Oh.
They learned that.
Not.
About 300 people in the city.
150 were, roughly half were men who survived everything being decimated, random ones from whatever, husbands, fathers, whatever, and then roughly 100 children, women and children, orphans.
I think it's worth finding volunteers from that 150 that want useful and putting
Rest in a safe spot.
One thing to remember is that the portal spell doesn't require us to be at a circle. We can cast that anywhere and go to that circle. We have just been going circle to circle.
Do you have a portal spell?
Oh, as long as we have components or someone has it.
Right.
We can
go from a circle. You can do it with just the gems.
Just the gems, yeah.
But
I don't have it.
Special symbols.
I gotcha. So if nobody has the portal spell, then yes, we do need to get to a portal. But
my mom's going to come in a second, I think, or maybe Johanna and the kids. But sorry, give me 1 second. It looks like it's Johanna and kids, so. Yeah, we could use this to take a 10-minute break.
Sweet.
10-minute
See you guys in a bit. 10-minute break. You there, man?
For some reason,
Oh,
and my
no.
grandmother's just has no musical ability.
Pat, you there? Not back yet. For the end of the world was long ago, and all we dwell today, as children of a nomad band, like those who fill a barren land after a judgment day. For the end of the world was long ago, when the ends of the world waxed free, when Satyrs sunk in a waste of slaves, and the dwarves drowned in the sea. Those who fled the land of beasts found friends in this flayed hand, and slayed the bands out of the east. Black City made its stand. Now fireflies have filled the sky, and whoso hearkens round will only hear the silence, for the bells will be cast down. I was thinking about trying to do a cold read of that as Christopher Walken. That would take a lot of work. I'd have to take a few passes at that.
And men break out of the northern lands, enormous lands alone, where a spell is placed upon life and lust, and the rain is changed to a silver dust, and the sea to a great green stone, and a shape that moveth murkily in mirrors of ice and night. I do not have it in front of me. This is off the dome. Hath blanched with fear all beasts and birds, as death and a shock of evil words blasts a man's hair with white. And the cry of the palms and the purple moons and the cry of the... And men rode out of the eastern lands, broad river and burning plain, trees that are Titan flowers to see, and tiger skies striped horribly with tropic tints of rain, where inns enameled peaks arise around that inmost one, where ancient eagles on its brink, vast as archangels, gather to drink the sacrament of the sun. And the cry of the palms and the purple moons, or the cry of the frost and foam, swept ever about an inmost place, and the din of distant race on race cried and replied round Rome. And there was death on the emperor, and night upon the pope. And Alfred, hiding in deep grass, hardened his heart with hope. A sea folk blinder than the sea beat all about his land, but Alfred up against them bare, and gripped the ground and grasped the air, staggered and strove to stand. He bent them back with spear and spade, with desperate dike and wall, with foemen leaning on his shield and roaring on him when he reeled, and no help came at all. The northern men whose eyes are bleak and bright, singing about what ghastly things are done on a deck in the daylight. And heavy men, as vast as sin, with horned heads, came wading in through the
Hey, Pat, are you back?
sea foam.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt, you're super fuzzy. I'm not objecting. I'm just commenting.
Bigfoot.
I wish I knew what to do about it.
Facial hair.
Come on, get me. Get me.
You need a brighter light.
I can get a brighter light.
It's also not super important. I'm just saying.
Hey, where is it?
I also remember certain items of clothing, but I didn't really know why. And looking back, a lot of it was I really didn't like jeans for a long time, and they were all just like a little too small. So
Oh.
like the feeling of putting them on, and I mean I was a
When you were a
skinny
kid.
kid.
Mhm.
I wasn't. I bulked up after high school, but yeah, just if they didn't now with stretchier fabrics and stuff, jeans kind of fit multiple sizes. Back then I feel like they were just tubes sewn together.
Lord knows my calipigian form benefits from a bit of spandex interwoven with the cotton.
Maybe that will help.
No, that's better. It needs to illuminate your face or the detail that you're trying to focus on.
Yeah, I just am not
There
really
you
set
go.
up for that.
Now it's setting it. Now it's like getting it all facely. Now it's crisp and clear now.
It's almost like you have a real face.
I don't.
All right.
Take that, Dwight.
We can
That's
get
what I
into
said.
it.
Almost. Let's do this.
I'm going to get into it
let's
with
go.
Mel Gibson over there.
So the people have agreed, and you plan on leaving in 3 days. The people have agreed to go with you. And Matt, I just watched your stuff go from super blurry to focus when you sat down. So, the people have agreed to go with you. Endev was persuaded by all of the others going. And you are trying to think of where you could put the 150-ish women and children. Gary needs to go back to Miradau, he says, to go to his place that he has some equipment that he was not willing to blow on this battle, some supplies, I should say, but he is willing to use for the sake of some greater plan.
Okay,
Great.
let's go.
Go where?
I'll go with him
To Miradau.
to Miradau.
All right.
As will Inkatink.
It's late in the day now. Do you want to wait till tomorrow? It's going to be dusk right now-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. You all go to sleep.
Hold on just one second. Just for the sake of being actually following the rules of my class and my school of magic, the 5 skeletons that I currently have are going to get tied down in the basement by the end of the day. While I still have control over them, we're going to tie them down, wrist, ankle, head, and then once my control, and then while I still have control over them, kill them, defeat them.
Okay.
Burn
their bodies.
Yep.
Their bones.
Their bones. Yeah, like kill them. And then I'm going to start making new skeletons bright and early the next day. And these new skeletons, when I level up tonight, are going to have additional HP and an extra accuracy because of me being a level 6 necromancer now.
Okay.
Wouldn't you prefer to leave?
And I can make them more quickly.
Wouldn't you prefer to leave those feral skeletons shambling around protecting your lair? I mean,
no,
it's
because they attack anything. Once I no longer control them, they just blindly attack everything they see,
including Diamondbacks.
You could have
me.
like a room. You could have a closet that's just full of skeletons, and you open it, run out of the room, and whoever's in the room then gets.
I don't want to risk them because our DM will be rolling every hour to see whether they break down the door.
Hey, that lich hasn't come back to bite us yet.
I don't want
Nobody even knows what's going on with that lich.
Diamondback is very responsible with his undead. He's not one of these necromancers that just leaves them wandering around every which way. You know, we take
He's
good
just
care
trying
of them.
to raise a family responsibly.
Exactly. So
Raise
he's also
the
the rest of the day is also spent cleansing the flesh from these 8
You have
Iron
enough time for
Bell
all this?
I think you had
skeletons.
7 Iron Bell and he had 8
7 Iron Bell
Uh,
skeletons.
skulls,
Right.
heads. I mean,
Oh yeah, heads.
So
They're
I don't
sitting
know
on the
whether
black-
I can use the defeated skeletons and like raise them up again. I guess that's
If
your
you're-
call, but I can. It says in the spell it's just a pile of bones.
if you're trying to demolish them such that they don't animate on their own here in Garatone, reanimate again, then you'll be disintegrating them sufficiently that they won't do that. But it means sufficiently so that they also wouldn't be able to be done by your magic.
Well, I don't need them to not animate from the natural native animation. If that happens, it's not on me. I just need them to. I just need my spell animating them to be. I just need them damaged enough. I just need to
I
kill
guess-
the 9 hit points so that they fall down.
Gotcha.
and become a-
Garatone could animate them and then he kills them again because they're still tied up, and then he animates them.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, you do 9 hit points of
Okay.
damage. They still could be whatever.
So what
your
I'm going to
basement.
do is, what I'm going to have my acolytes and me are going to spend a little time doing is packing up most of them into like taking the bones and like they're still connected together or whatever in whatever way will work, and folding them up into packages, like easily transportable packages of skeleton.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
which I could just, one day I could just undo some twine, take some, cloth, some like burlap cloth off, and just animate it, and I have a skeleton.
Telepax.
So I should be able to, by the morning, I should be able to have 12 of those.
Partsels.
Fine with me. If you want your long rest, you make sure to take your long rest to be, level 6.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just making sure, like, because I'm going to say in the future, I've got some skeletons packed in my luggage, and I'm just going to animate 2 of them now, and so this is me. Me and my acolytes are doing the work to make that happen now.
Sounds good.
Organgamis.
What?
I'm just going to keep coming up with. I'm just going to keep coming up with bad ones as long as we're in this scene.
So everybody take your long rest. Level if you got them. And
Should we roll our new hit points?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's roll whatever needs to be rolled.
Have we been rolling hit points? I thought we were just letting it happen automatically.
I'm okay with that. We have been rolling. Diamondback has been rolling on camera.
Yeah. Let me find, where do I click to get to my, here we go. Manage character and levels.
I can't remember. I didn't do anything with hit points in D&D Beyond. Would it have?
If you level up, it has like a automatic
Gotcha.
thing.
Let me see.
So I
Total
should roll a d6 to see how many more hit points I get.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got another level of wizard. So
Yeah,
here
I don't
goes.
Up, so I should-
Very important roll. It's a 4.
That's not
Pretty
bad. Yeah.
Yep. So my rolled hit points are now at a total of 24 plus 12 from my constitution for 36 max hit points for Diamondback.
There you go. Level 6 wizard.
I'm pretty sure my rolled hit points was 5d8, and I have a 23. So I think I need to roll another d8 and add it.
Okay.
How do
I
I know
have
what my
the
hit
rolled
dice is?
HP value put in, and I didn't
Okay.
change that.
What'd you say, Joel?
How do I
Pat?
know what my hit dice is?
In D&D Beyond, there is a if you go
Druid
in-
is a D8, so it's your level times.
Druid is D8. Your level times D8 plus your con bonus times your level.
If you're looking at your character sheet and you click manage, then you can click manage character and levels. And when you click manage character and levels, it'll take you to a scene with a page with some tabs, and the class tab will be highlighted, and it'll say what classes you have what levels of, and then there's a manage hit points button there,
Right.
and
Yeah,
that
so
will
it
tell
is-
you what your hit dice are.
automatically applied the
So when I level up, do I just roll a new hit dice and add that number to it?
Yeah, if you've been rolling the HP, then there's a rolled HP like a box that you can put it in. And you can add to that.
Okay. Oh, and then I'm getting plus 20 for my constitution, so that's going to stay what it is regardless.
Right.
and I think that goes up, right? That's
I think
Like
it's your
my-
con score times your level.
time. Yeah. I think
Five.
D&D Beyond had applied that, but it didn't apply the.
Right. It makes sense if you haven't. If you're doing manual entry. Okay.
I now have 50 hit points.
Whoa, that's awesome.
What'd
I
you
have
get?
57, but I think I did something wrong.
Did you roll 1d8 right now, or did you?
I rolled 1d8, yeah, and I got a 5 and I added it, but then when I leveled up, oh, I guess that was just more of a bonus for my constitution, so I guess that's fine.
So D&D Beyond, I think if you switch it into rolled hit points mode, there should be like a number in that rolled hit points thing.
Yeah, I'm actually like only 3 above the average, so I don't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The total possible value is 72, and I'm at 57. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like you're
That's,
good.
So, Inkatink, did you roll yours, or Josh, did you roll one? 3?
You're
Can't hear
muted.
you. I'm not sure why.
Josh, you're muted.
It did it for me. So
Okay.
it did it automatically, and I'm now at 44.
Okay. The night passes.
Can
Can
we go
What's
through
up?
and say what? Because at level 6 you get like your
Do it.
second
Yeah.
your second really cool class thing. Can we hear what Inkatink and the others? I can say what Diamondback got.
Absolutely, man. Let's do. Let's hear your character levels and all that. That actually might be a good place to stop. Actually, if we do that and stop for the night, it'll be a little earlier than usual, but not terribly.
Okay, so Diamondback at level 6 unlocks. So if you click features and traits on your character sheet, it'll show you like the new thing that you got. Diamondback got a feature called Undead Thralls as a level 6 wizard in the School of Necromancy. You add the Animate Dead spell to your spellbook if it is not there already. It is there already. So that's sort of wasted, but I wanted to be able to animate dead earlier. So when you cast Animate Dead, you can target one additional corpse or pile of bones, creating another zombie or skeleton as appropriate. So I can get my undead minions up to speed twice as fast. Whenever you create an undead using a necromancy spell, its max HP is increased by 6, and it adds +3 to its weapon damage rolls.
That's great.
So, and the 6 is my wizard level, and the +3 is my proficiency bonus. So as I level up, the undead that I create will get stronger and stronger.
Nice.
And as I get more level 3 spell slots, the number of them that I'll be able to maintain each day will get more and more, because I have to spend a level 3 spell slot every night to to assert my control over up to 4 of them that I've animated.
Nice. And a +3
So
on
I'm
the
planning
attack
on
is not
using
helpful.
2 of those spell slots every day and getting myself up to a force of 8.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Very nice. What about you? Somebody else? Pat? White?
I
We're
didn't
doing it
get
now.
much. Level 6 is a quiet one for druids, I guess. All I got was I have advantage against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement, and I can move through non-magically created plants that would harm me without getting hurt.
Okay.
My big thing is I can now my attacks as my normal are magical for purposes of damage resistance.
Oh, nice.
And going forward, it's really level 8 that gets exciting. I can use challenge rating, druid level divided by 2.
4.
I can go up to 3
2.
now.
Okay. Nice. So now you can go to 3
Yeah.
for wild shape.
I thought divided by 3 isn't right, but I thought I didn't get any benefit because I did the moon.
What's you're the circle of the moon?
No, Circle of the Night,
Well, yeah,
which is Circle of the Moon.
yeah.
At 8th level, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you've seen before. Challenge rating of 1 or lower. You can use the feature twice. You regain XP to do so and finish short rest.
Yeah, the Circle of the Moon increases that challenge rating a lot. Everything else only goes up to 1 or possibly 2. But Circle of the Moon is level divided by something.
Starting at
Okay.
6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3 rounded down.
Okay. So
Yeah. What's your circle, Tall?
What is my circle? How do I check that?
So yeah, I guess 9th level.
Circle of the land.
Circle of the land. So
And forest, I guess. Don't you
starting
pick
at 6th level, oh yeah, moving through magical terrain, like you said. You have advantage on saving throws against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement. Oh, that's not great. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, it could be better.
Okay.
And we both got another 3rd level spell slot. That was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. What about Inkatink?
So, Inkatink, at this, as he turns to the 6th level, you see some of the, what was previously a pure jet black, shiny sheen to all of his scales. You see a subtle scintillation of color, and you see a blue hue like a butterfly's wing shining off of the ribs of his feathers, and his draconic ancestry, his draconic bloodline of having a blue dragon ancestor begins to very subtly show in the shine and the shimmer on his scales. And you see that he casts lightning bolt and all other lightning related damage spells with an even greater intensity. So he gets to add his charisma modifier to the damage of all lightning based spells that he casts.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
And because of his draconic ancestry, he's got now that he's level 6, a +6 bonus to his HP. So
Awesome.
So even though he's just a sorcerer, he's got like 44, 45 hit points. So
Beefy.
beefy boy.
We will pick up next time with the party. I suppose especially Belvari going with Garriott to to retrieve some equipment that Garrett Garrett is willing to use for the purposes of this assault on the headwaters. The plan is to leave 3 days hence. So starting in the morning, that'll be day 1. Then the next day, day 2. Then the next day, the third day, you leave. The idea there being, correct me if I'm wrong, that around that time, the Iron Bell should be 2 or 3 days away from here, having left the headwaters. And also, by the time you get to the headwaters, say, the Iron Bell are arriving here and finding out. So you've got a 6-day lead on them at the headwaters. Is that about right? Like a rough plan, 5-6 days? Okay.
Sounds about right.
Your plan is to take the women and children along with the fighting force, the men and some women who are doing the fighting.
So
Go ahead.
what I was going to say is, I mean, Diamondback's experience of life so far has been that there is no safe place. Every place that he's ever been has either tried to kill him or gotten destroyed by the Iron Bell. And it seems to Diamondback that the safest place for anybody, women and children included, is in this big group that can successfully resist the Iron Bell. And like any town, anywhere, anything associated with what we just did, they're going to completely get destroyed unless we can finish the Iron Bell once and for all. Like the die has been cast. So if any of the other characters can think of Diamondback, so Diamondback cannot think of any place safe to put them. So like if any of the other characters have ideas about that, you know.
Yeah, I think Dwight definitely agrees, sort of, mostly. I think Belvari, though, is mildly wanting to go quickly and quietly, that sort of thing. You know how good he is at sneaking. So just one of the things he's going to be looking at is the suitability of that place as a it's just a few days. The Iron Bell isn't omniscient. They're not everywhere. And possibly Garriott has components to cast this spell. This teleportation
circle, yep.
I think if we could find that, components to cast it or a person who has it is one of their spells, then it would be an all right place, assuming we can get them surrounded-ish, in a spot for a time. It would be better than taking them here, and I think a little bit better than taking them with us.
And just to point out, you have a range of children and maybe animals, depending on you could leave them here, but they might get completely decimated by the Iron Bell. Or you could maybe you could send them somewhere.
Yeah, I'm assuming we'd leave like 10 of our army, possibly.
Okay. And remind me, Matt, you might remember this better than me. I remember you have memorized this circle of the Black City, Garriott's circle at Miradau, the circle in the Stone Keep in the dark, in the hole. Is there another one that you have memorized?
Was there one
I don't think so. I think that's the list.
There wasn't one at the slave place where we rescued Jacob's character.
Right. There was not one.
My list is the sigil code for Miradau, the sigil code for the Black City, the sigil code for the Hole, and
was there one in the cave?
the black something that I call the Black Stone, which is I think maybe the village that Jacob's character came from.
Jacob's new character.
Talad
Talad, yeah. Was there one in that?
in Orvan?
Orvan, yeah, the underground cave system.
I don't think they had one. No.
Okay.
I have
The
something
Black
called
Stone?
the Black Stone.
I think that's this one in this town.
Well, I also have
Yeah.
one for what I call the Baishu Zen's Empty Lake, which I think is this city,
Oh,
the
okay.
Black City.
I don't remember what the Blackstone is.
Yeah, that didn't ring a bell to me.
Okay.
Maybe you should just go ahead and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. We can figure out. Those would be your options for where you could send people if you were going to send people.
Clipping error.
That's right. Okay, great. Well, we'll do that next time. Thank you for playing, and thank you all others for listening. You can find out more about this story and the other stories we're telling in the collective, starfallcollective.com. Have a good night.
Adios.